done that. There are now repeaters, red power 2 repeaters set at the maximum delay along here. And I've slowed the timer to 10 seconds. So that the stuff has time to travel through the tubes. I think that might have been one problem I was having as well. But everything seems to be stable now. It's just running at a much slower pace, but that shouldn't matter relative to how long it's going to take to fill up the brains and jars. So the next part is going to be to test this little conveyor system here and to make sure that all works right. So how this is going to work is it's going to drop down 4 frames here and 4 brains and jars here. Have these solid blocks because brains and jars cannot take experience to the bottom of the jar for some reason. I think that's a bug, but you want to make sure there's something solid underneath them so that that doesn't happen. Then they're going to move here. Once they're full, the frames and the jars will move here. The frames will get here, and these will trigger, bringing that up there. And then this will continue on, putting the jars back in here. When those 4 frames come up, that's going to activate this, which we have not set. I think this is right. Yes. Hello. I'm pink, and the last one. Great. There's going to be frame here, brains and jars here. That's going to control basically when the jars get redeployed. It'll only happen when this frame is sent back through. And I'll keep that from messing up. And I think we should test this now. So let's get this set up. Just have this come out here for now. Look into this. Have a lever here and a lever here. And we'll manually excuse me. And we will manually control these. Because this is going to be basically the main control circuit. It's not going to be too complicated. But okay, we need the brains and jars. Just 8 of them will do. Put 4 up here. 4 here. 4 those. And this should start going through here in a second. Okay, there's 1. Next one. That's set. That's going to take a full 80 seconds to deploy completely. Something we'll need to consider when we add in the main time for this. While that's deploying, let's think about how we're going to control this. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see, 1, 2. So 5 or 6 that needs to move. So that pulses once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. So 5 times is when this needs to go. Jars are down. That means we need a timer and a counter setup here, which is what I have intended on doing. we actually need a timer and a dual counter set up, really. So we may have to go make another counter. Okay, that's fully deployed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did I count that wrong? Then this will go. And this will go. And let's see if they actually get on the conveyor system. Looks like they are. Hopefully they'll make it all the way through, but we'll come back and check on that later. Looks like we need some more jars now. Test this further. Go ahead and get 8. All the extra jars are just going to go in there once this gets completely finished. Stop looking at me. Okay, so we'll get rid of this because that apparently works. Let's see if we can't figure out how to do the actual circuit. You'll need one timer that's going to be the main control. And that's going to go to a counter timer combo. So let's just set this really, really long to start off with. I'm guessing it's going to take 3 to 5 minutes. So we'll set it around 5 minutes, plus the 80 seconds that it needs to actually deploy. Then that's going to go to a counter here with the kind of standard counter thing setup that we've been doing. Yeah, so I'll need another timer. So let's put it here to make things easier on ourselves. And I'll need a couple of wire. This needs to go 6 times. Oops. Is that the increment? Yes. Decrement? Yes. Okay, that should be right. Max count should be 6. Do I have this backwards? Increment should be 6. Decrement should be 1. Leave the max count at 6 as well. That should do it. Okay. Then need some orange wire. If I have any. Let me get some of that and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is going to hook up here. This will probably need to move over a little bit. Maybe. Or we could just run this out further. Did not mean to do that. Okay. We have another wire coming here. We'll make this one yellow. This will control the block breakers. And this is also going to need put it here. A counter of some type. So I'm going to go make another one of those and I will be right back. Okay, I've changed this up a little bit how it was originally planning. That did not make any sense, but stay with me anyway. Okay, so this is the main control timer that's going to be how long it takes all 4 of these jars to fill up. Then when that pulses, it's going to reset this counter, which is now set with a max of 5. And that will cause this to run 5 times. on its 5th run, it'll activate this power going this way, which will shut off this timer and split into these 2 repeaters. This one is set at the max delay. This one's set at half max. The half max will go up to the block breakers and trigger them, and the max will trigger the frame motors the last time to push the jars onto the conveyor belt. And our jars are right there. One of them is missing, isn't it? No, it's not. It's up there. Okay. They're going. Making their merry way. I did notice one problem. I'm not going to be able to have more than 4 jars on that last one at a time unless I change the way I'm going to do that, and I might end up doing that. I think. Ideally, I would want it some way to detect if a jar was here. If a jar was here, and then if there is a jar here, only pulse this when there's a jar here. I'm not sure if there's a way to do that. If you use a piston, that might cause problems. If you pushing that way, that would cause problems. I don't think you can use any kind of solid block detector because I doubt they count as solid blocks. Don't think they can conduct redstone signals. I suppose we could check that. Put that there. We would probably need, let's use regular redstone, just to make sure. And if we powered that, let's use a repeater. I have some normal repeaters, I think. Yeah, I didn't think that would work. So if I had a solid block there, this should send a signal through. Yeah, just making sure I did that right. That would be one way to do it. The other way is to break all of these each cycle and then place them again. But I don't know. I think we'd still need a detector there too. So what's going to happen is once there is more than one right here, these won't be able to push forward. So I'm not sure how to do that. I suppose I could have 2. No, that wouldn't work either. I guess we could check out this circuit now. Okay, so that's going to run. This is only set at a minute. I'll be right back once it finishes. Okay, here it goes. Let's hope it works. There goes that. And this is still on. Something is powering this wire. Okay, I don't know where that was coming from. And this needs to be slowed down. Now. Oh, okay, the repeater, that's what was powering that. Okay, Should be... Looks like we need to increase the pulse of this one more. Yep. Shut that off. Let's change that by 1. Let's break all those and do it all again. I'll be right back. Okay, here we go again. This should pulse. Switches that off. The repeaters are going to go now. That one, they're still both on, I think. There they go. And now then, this will move. Everything should be good. Where are our jars at now? They're almost to the top row. Oh, they are on the top row. Some of them are. This is there. That's reached that. The repeaters are kicking in now. As soon as this one goes. It's taking a while. Okay, why did it not break those? It's active. This must need to be delayed a little bit longer. Looks like we have to do this one more time. And I'll just see if it works off camera, and if it does, then we'll move on to the next part. Okay, I checked that. I increased the delay one more tick, one more notch, whatever it is. And that seems to be working fine now. They're already on the conveyor belt somewhere. Right there. These are almost here, so I've went ahead and wired up a button down here. Well, I haven't put the button there. And I don't remember which slot it was at. Okay, the far wall. This is just going to break the jar and give me the experience out of it. Fairly simple. There should be it. Go up. Is it not there yet? A few more seconds. I'll be right back. Okay. And you can see the problem we're going to have here. Once these two get stopped, there's not going to be any more movement on this line. That is going to cause some problems. But let's see if we wire this up properly. That broke, and that would have, if it had any experience, would have dropped it. So make sure it goes to the right spot. Goes. Okay, it's going to the right spot. That's great. Everything is as it should be. Now then, the main thing left is to adjust the timing of this so that it's however long those 4 take to fill up, and to see if we can't come up with a solution to this. I think I might have something. Be a little bit messy though, and a little bit redstone intensive. Probably going to do most of it off camera and then come back and explain it. So I will be back and I will tell you what delay I set this at as well, so that you don't have to do that for yourself. Be back in a moment. Oh yeah, I guess we need to deploy our golems first. Golem army, ready? Okay. Let's see how they do. I also need to start making this whole area enderman-proof. And we need to come up with something to do about all the mob drops as well. I had forgotten about that. I need to make sure they can't spawn here. Probably do half slabs in water. Half slabs will probably be easier. So I'll start with that. While this is filling up, and I will be back. Okay, I've let this run for a while. And right now I have it set on 6 minutes delay. Which seems to be actually a little bit too long. But I'm leaving the little extra there for error. Margin of error. There is a couple problems still. When this moves, the golems like to try to escape. We need to do something about that. Especially if there are mobs out here. Which I haven't finished enderman proofing this area, which is probably part of the problem. And I think we're going to not do the fix that today. I think we've spent enough time on this episode, and this project for now. We'll probably come back to it in a future episode. But right now we have some jars full of experience up there. Let's make sure this part works. Did it not work? Okay. It did work. That one wasn't full though for some reason. Or maybe they didn't all... Yeah, it doesn't look like they all came down. Ooh, and we're out of that stuff. Okay. Let's see. Just grab a few ender pearls and then we'll go up there and see what the problem is. Looks like some of them went up on top. Some are right here too, so that's another problem. And I think that might just be all there was. Yeah. So we need to fix that. And it's probably just the main thing we need to fix. Let's break it again and see what happens. Trying to see if I can do this. Whoa, crap. Okay, well that's going to be the end of this episode. Like if you like, subscribe if you're not. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.